How are we doing, folks? Your host Moose here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network as we welcome you to Heinz Field. Your Pitt Panthers 2-0 and number 5 in the country, taking on the 0-1 Maryland Terrapins. If we take a look at the statistics for both these teams, I don't know if they're being sarcastic or not, but lighting it up said on the screen, and neither of these teams has a particularly proficient offense. The scoring, you can see points per game, has been relatively poor for both teams here to start the young season off. But the two teams will look to do battle today. One of them will have to score more than the other, and we'll get you out to the field as we get things underway here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Of course, your Pitt Panthers home again. They were away to Marshall last weekend and came away with a victory. They'll return home looking to continue their winning ways as they go up against a good Maryland team that has very good offensive skill players, of course, led by halfback Jake Funk. And Funk starts off by running through Pitt defensive end Ronnie Baker before Sean Wolfgang brings him down from behind. The seniors had a big impact so far this season. He'll look to continue getting some sacks here as he chases NCAA immortality. But a great start for Maryland there. That's a throw out wide. Damian Vector, the freshman corner out of West Virginia for the Panthers, makes the tackle, but he's going to be tagged for a 15-yard face mask penalty. And so Maryland, after just 2 plays, is already into Pitt territory. And here's Bortenshager, the quarterback. He's going to be met about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage by safety Avery Heller, the Panthers' leading tackler so far on this young season. He makes the stop, and it'll be 2nd and 8, but Maryland moves the ball well. That's Brandon Perez, fights through 2 tackles. He gets through Vector, and then an arm tackle from Barry Jenkins before eventually being corralled down by Jason Jordan into the Panthers' red zone at about the 11-yard line. Bortenshager back to pass. Plenty of time. Looks. Had a man open. That was DJ Turner, the wide receiver, but he just overthrew him, and so it'll be 2nd down. Bortenshager keeps on an option here, weasels his way through the middle of the offense, and picks up a nice gain of 8 as he weaved in and out there. Sets up 3rd and 2 as Maryland looks to punch things in. Bortenshager keeps it himself. He's going to run up the middle, and he's going to be into the end zone, and Pitt already in a big hole here, not even 2 minutes into the opening quarter of play, and Maryland jumps out to an early 7-0 lead. And if we take a look at the scoreboard around the ACC, another ACC-ranked team has fallen, Miami. Their 2nd straight loss. They lost to Miami of Ohio last week. They lost to Wake Forest on Thursday night, and so they dropped to 1-2. Here on the season. Pitt opens things up. Kenny Pickett leads the Panthers out. He has struggled a bit this season, just over 50% passing. He's not been great so far, and he misses Jay Keys, his favorite target there on 1st down. Todd Sibley will take the first handoff of the game for the Panthers, go for a gain of 4, and so it'll be 3rd and 6. 5 wide set for Pickett. He's in the shotgun. Looks, plenty of time. Has a man in Keys again, and he just overthrows him this time. And so the Panthers, they really need to impress the visitors they have in store for the game today. A number of recruits in attendance at the game at Heinz Field today, and the Panthers not off to the most auspicious of starts, but they do get a big hit, and that is Darren Toth coming off a 4-sack performance last weekend against Marshall. He brings down Bortenshager in the backfield for a 6-yard loss, and then a false start for Maryland pushes them back to make it 3rd and 21. Bortenshager back to pass. Plenty of time as the Panthers rush 4. He has to dump it off. They ran a 4 vertical route. Pitt had it covered up beautifully, and it's a good stop on Maryland's possession here. The Panthers will take over with solid field position, but they go nowhere on 1st down. Todd Sibley not able to find anywhere to run, and he's going to have to be helped off the field by the Panthers medical personnel. He should miss. It's rumored to be a rib injury. He should be able to return at some point this game, but CJ London will be the main guy for the Panthers. But the Panthers decide to air it out on 3rd down, and Pickett with a horrific miss there. He had Jay Keys cutting open over the middle of the field, and Kenny Pickett, I don't know if he can't grab the football or what, but the ball is just sailing on him today. It's all over the place. They must have greased that thing up with butter, who knows what, but he can't hold on to the football. It's a horrible throw, and just like that, Maryland takes over the football, and the Panthers nearly take it back. Kaiser Artis-Scott, the senior defensive back, knocks that football away. Should have probably had the interception. 2nd down to DJ Turner out wide. He's going to fight through a tackle of Damian Vector and get 1st down yardage down to about the 24-yard line as Maryland tries trying to double their advantage here midway through the first quarter. And Bortenschlager's got room to roam. He keeps it on the read option. Heller eventually comes over and knifes him down, but he's got first down yardage to about the 10. Going to run a similar play. It's Bortenschlager keeping again. Heller comes through. He bounces off one tackler. Lachlan can't bring him down, and Bortenschlager shows some strength, throws a couple forearm shivers at the Panthers, fights his way through a pair of tacklers, and he's into the end zone. Maryland with a 2-touchdown advantage. The Panther fans are in shock right now. So Pitt will look to counter, currently trailing by 2 touchdowns, not even halfway through the opening quarter of football, and Pitt can't get anything going offensively. C.J. London has no room to run there. The middle linebacker, Bennett, who made the interception on the last drive, brings him down. So 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. Pickett back to pass, rolls away from a couple of defenders, lucky to escape a sack there, and he fights through a tackle, gets a very good spot of the football, and it's a first down for the Panthers. They do move the chains, keep the drive alive. Pickett showing some determination with his legs. He does complete a short pass here to Jay Keys over the middle for a short gain of 5 to at least hopefully get his confidence up after throwing that early interception. But on 2nd and 5, a gang rush blitz from Maryland, and Brian Bennett, he's got a sack now to go along with his interception. He's off to a fantastic day here in the first quarter. 3rd and 13 for the Panthers. Pickett throws it away. Ogden's able to make a shoestring catch, but nowhere near first down yardage, and Pitt will be forced to punt the ball away. Maryland with an opportunity to take a 3-score lead here in the opening quarter, and Bortenschlager is really hurting the Panthers with his legs, so he takes a big hit from Avery Heller, but it's a 10-yard gain for Bortenschlager, who's been roaming all over the field. He's going to keep it on an option, and then he pitches it, finds Jake Funk out wide. He's got plenty of room to range forward on the sideline. 31 yards for the Maryland senior running back. Bortenschlager looked like he was going to keep it, pitched it at the last moment, and it went for a big gain for the Terrapins. Backup running back Harrison comes in now and gets a nice gain of 8. 2nd and 2 for the Terrapins into Pitt territory yet again. Here comes Bortenschlager. He's out wide, runs into his own lineman, but does find enough room to skate forward for about 7 and picks up the first down. Maryland at the 25. Bortenschlager decides to throw a screen. That goes out wide to Ryan Dukes, and the football's jarred loose. Quell Hampshire's on it, and the Panthers have the ball. Damian Vector came up and laid the wood on Ryan Dukes, jarred the football loose, and Quell Hampshire was Johnny on the spot, picked up the loose ball, and the Panthers play takeaway. Just like that, they looked like they were about to go down by 3 scores, and they retake the football in a huge turn of events. Pickett now rolling out to his right, dances around a couple of Maryland defenders, picks up a gain of 7 there on first down. C.J. London checks in at halfback. He's going to take the counter handoff. Doesn't get a ton of yards. He is dragged forward, and it'll be ruled a gain of 7 and a first down for the Panthers. 5 wide set for Pickett. He's in the shotgun here. Time winds down in the first quarter. He finds a man. That's KJ Welch, the true freshman, who's able to battle through one tackle and picks up 13 and a first down gain. Welch will come out of the game. He's helped off, but he should be okay, it looks like it. London goes up the middle. Bennett with a tackle, but it looks like he brings London down via the face mask. So that's going to be a 15-yard tack on to the end of the run. Set the Panthers up with good field position as they trail Maryland 14-0 here at the end of the first quarter. A shocking turn of events. Pitt looking to come from behind here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers to start off the second quarter. Paul Lease comes in motion, and he's going to take the handoff from Pickett. Gets a good block from C.J. London. Keys sets the edge, and it's a very good run from Paul Lease. Picks up 16 on the jet sweep there. Pitt trying to go back to that jet sweep game, which was so proficient for them a few years ago. And Pickett finds a man. That's Jay Keys, and the Panthers are on the board. Another highlight reel touchdown grab from the sophomore. He had that touchdown in triple coverage against Marshall at the end of the first half last week, and he gets a tiptoe grab there to bring the Panthers back within a touchdown. Take a look at this catch from Keys. He just gets that left foot down, the toe down, before his right foot comes in out of bounds. An incredible catch from Jay Keys, and the Panthers have their first touchdown of the day, cutting the Maryland lead to 14-7. Good run from Jake Funk, though, on first down. Bortenschlager keeps himself. They run the option yet again. It's Ryan Dukes out wide, but the Panthers play it fairly well and limit Maryland to a gain of 3. Bortenschlager hands off to Funk, this time on a counter. He runs out of a tackle, and the Panthers are forced to bring him down. Heller again coming up to meet him, but when Heller's making all those tackles, it usually means the Maryland players are getting into the second level. Not getting into the second level that time, though. Sean Wolfgang, his first sack of the day, his 37th on his career, as he chases both Pitt and NCAA immortality. Big sack for Wolfgang, 3rd and 12 now for Maryland. Bortenschlager dumps it off, and it's Darren Toth not letting that screen go absolutely anywhere. Loss of 4, and Maryland will be forced to punt the football away. Pitt with an opportunity to equalize and cut the deficit back to nothing here on this ensuing drive. 5-wide set for the Panthers. Pickett making some changes at the line on 3rd and 4. He's going to roll out to his right. Looks, decides to throw it against his body. Jay Keys called for it, and he did find him. Not a great throw from Pickett, but Keys made a great adjustment to haul it in and move the sticks. Play action for Pickett on 1st and 10. He's got plenty of room to run forward. Maryland completely focused on those deep routes, and Pickett had acres of space to run into and gets the first down. 2nd and 10 for Kenny. Sits in the pocket, looking deep, going for Keys, and it's deflected away. Good defensive coverage by John Taylor to knock that one away. So 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. Motion from Ogden. Pickett rolling out to his right. Looks, throws, has a man. That's KJ Welsh, the freshman. Hangs on through the contact from Bennett, who had another big hit there. And it's a first down for Pitt. CJ London now on 1st down. Nice pickup for the junior. Pickup of 6 as he's making his return. He missed the Panthers last game against Marshall, of course, due to a back injury. And London's got a grab here out of the backfield. Walks out of a tackle, and if he could have stayed in bounds there, he might have been off to the races, but it's an 11-yard pickup for London and a first down for the Panthers. Pickett rolls out to his left. Scrambles around a couple of men. Nowhere to throw. Doesn't find his open man. It looked like he had Jay Keys, who would come back to the ball, but he just couldn't locate him. And so Pickett takes a sack. It's going to be 3rd and 20 now for the Panthers. He rolls out to his right. Pickett, plenty of room. Gets a couple Maryland defenders to commit to him. Throws it up. Nearly intercepted. David Dahl knocks it away. Pickett just threw it towards the end zone, hoping somebody would come down with it. They didn't, and so Jay Bump will trot out and kick through a field goal for the Panthers to make it 14-10 in favor of the Terrapins. And while Pitt's on upset alert, as is the #1 team in the land, Ohio State currently losing at Northwestern, who's off to a great start, 14-7 late in the first half there over on the Big Ten Network. Max Bortenschlager goes for 5, sets up 3rd and inches for the Terrapins now. Dual halfback set flanking Bortenschlager. He keeps on the option, and Scott Whaley breaks into the backfield. Troy Polamalu-esque. We mentioned that was his favorite player growing up. That's why he wears 43. And he makes a big stop as Maryland tried to run a triple read option there. Blows it up in the backfield, and Pitt will retake the football. A minute and a half to go in the first half, trying to take their first lead of this football game. And that's going to be KJ Welsh over the middle. Solid 6-yard grab. Brian Bennett of Maryland up to 10 tackles on the day already. But the Panthers finally are slicing and dicing this Maryland secondary up. 13-yard gain for the Panthers as Lease runs the streak route. Pickett finds him and pits across midfield. Kenny back to throw. Plenty of time in the pocket, but eventually it breaks down. He just didn't have any receivers break open. He takes a big sack, and the Panthers are forced to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Kenny back to pass. Maryland rushes 4. Gets the throw off. Has a man. It looks like KJ Welsh nearly hauls it in. He had it in his fingertips. That would have been a SportsCenter top 10 grab, and instead the Panthers have to face 3rd and 21, but Jay Keys comes open over the middle, gain of 18. Pitt decides to go for it. The clock ticking down here at the end of the first half. Kenny back to pass, rolls out to his right. He's got space, and he's going to run forward. Huge gain for the Panthers, and they're into field goal range. 6 seconds to play, so Pitt might take one shot at the end zone before kicking a field goal. Pickett looking for Caleb Cannon, and it's intercepted. I don't believe it. Andrews jumps the route. Pickett had 2-on-1 coverage with Paul Lease and Caleb Cannon both running free against Andrews, and Andrews made a great read on the football and just jumped in front of Caleb Cannon, takes the ball away. Kenny's 2nd interception of the day makes the Panther drive go entirely for naught, and Maryland shockingly leads your Panthers 14-10 here at halftime. Pitt needing a huge comeback effort in the second half to come from behind and maintain their #5 ranking on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. So we're all set to welcome you back to the second half. Your Pitt Panthers currently trailing the Maryland Terrapins 14-10 here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. Todd Sibley takes the opening handoff to get the second half underway. Pitt now facing 3rd and 7. Kenny back to pass, has a man over the middle. CJ London hauls the pass in, but only for a gain of 5, and Pitt will punt the football away on their opening drive, come away with nothing, and Maryland looks to advance their advantage in their lead here with a Jake Funk carry. That's about 6, 3rd and 2 now for the Terrapins. Bortenshager hands off to Funk again. He cuts through, faces up with Ryan Jacobs. Great tackle from the Panther, but Funk keeps those legs churning for a gain of 9 and gets first down yardage. 5 wide set for Bortenshager. Back to pass. Pitt only rushes 3. Nearly gets the pressure there as Wolfgang was coming in on Bortenshager. He throws it away, but what in the world is this call? A pass interference flag has come in very, very late against Quell Hampshire. Pat Narduzzi does not like the call at all. He is completely incensed and arguing with the Terrapins as the Panthers give up a first down, but a great stop. That's Wolfgang, his 2nd sack of the day, 38th of his career, as the Panthers get a big stop there, setting up 3rd and 10. Bortenshager back to pass, has a protector in, looking deep, going for the end zone. It's intercepted. He was looking for Perez, and Damian Vector comes away with the football. The 5'9" freshman got plenty of ups there to go up and bring the football away. That's his first career interception, and I think that's the Panthers' first interception on the season. No, second interception on the season. Great job by Vector to pull that football away, though, as the Panthers retake it here. And it's a great throw by Kenny Pickett here on first down. I'm flustered because the Panthers have just completely flipped the game on its head. Now all of a sudden they're back near midfield. Pickett back to pass. Has a man. It's CJ London. Plenty of room to roam forward. He dances around a Maryland defender, shakes through another tackle, fights another one off, and he's taken down at about the 21. I think it's a 34-yard gain. We'll chalk it up as for CJ London. And Pitt very near to scoring position here, though with the way they turn the football over, it's not scoring position until they're actually in the end zone. 2nd and 4 now. 2 tight end set for Kenny. He's going to roll out to the right. Throws it. Has a man. That's a touchdown. Antonio Greer. The tight end comes open in the corner route. Pickett finds him with an eye of the needle type pass. He threaded it right in there to Greer. Great throw. And the Panthers take their first lead of the game. They flip the game on its head. The turnover forced by Vector. The Panthers march right down the field with a couple of big plays. Greer's into the end zone, and the junior's touchdown gives Pitt a 3-point advantage. Bortenshager looking deep there, trying to find Perez again, trying to challenge Damian Vector right away after the freshman made the interception on his last throw, but he overthrows everybody. And on 2nd down, he's not going to get the throw at all. Bortenshager brought down by Tyquan Sutton, his first career sack, the 5-star freshman, but he does have to be helped off the field following that sack, so we'll keep you updated on Sutton's potential injury progress. 3rd and 18 now, as Dukes is able to haul in a pass from Bortenshager just past the first down line. Great play call from Maryland, and they move the chains. Bortenshager hands off to Funk on 2nd down. He's met by a grouping of Panthers. Barry Jenkins eventually makes the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and 7. 5 wide set, quad formation to Bortenshager's left. He does look that direction. Lewis is laid out, though. Scott Whaley laying the boom once again, and Pitt will force Maryland to punt. And the word coming out of the Panthers camp, Tyquan Sutton is being taken for additional scans and testing for a potential back injury, so he will not return to this game. As the Panthers move down the field, Sibley with a nice 10-yard run sets up 2nd inches. CJ London will check in, and he's got a hole bigger than the parting of the Red Sea to run into. Great run for the first down for CJ London. There's the Panthers get across midfield. Pickett under center here, but with an empty set. Has Jay Balmer over the middle. He fights through a tackle. Remember, Balmer had a big drop in the game last week. Didn't end up affecting the final score line, but it's good for him to get his first catch of the season after redshirting last year. Jay Keys comes over the middle on 2nd down, fights through a couple of Maryland tacklers, maintains forward progress, and gets a first down for Pitt. 3rd down now as Pickett rolls out to his right, empty set, has a man. That's Antonio Greer. The junior is able to make a catch there. Great job by the tight end. First down for the Panthers, very near to the Maryland end zone, looking to establish their dominance here and break away for their 3rd victory of the season here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. So Pitt now 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Kenny Pickett decides to keep it himself on a read option. He's got plenty of room to run forward. Gets down safely and slides after a pickup of 7. Empty set for the Panthers on second down. Pickett throws a bubble screen. That's KJ Welch out wide. Has first down yardage, but a great last-ditch tackle by the Maryland secondary brings him down just short of the end zone. So first and goal. Panthers check in a heavy set. Cannon goes in motion. It's Sibley. He runs through a tackler, and he's into the end zone. Falls forward for the touchdown. Pitt pushes their advantage to 10 points early here in the fourth quarter. A great drive as they march down the field. Sibley caps it off with a 1-yard touchdown run, and Pitt maybe finally gaining the bit of breathing room they needed to put this game out of reach. Great job there by Jonathan Brown coming open for the Terrapins, getting first down yardage. Empty set. Bortenschlager really going to start opening up the passing game you'd expect now with the Terrapins having to come from behind, and that's Jonathan Brown again, gain of 13. Maryland brings back in their 11 set that they've been using to a lot of fanfare so far today, but it goes nowhere. Funk is going to be twirled down in the backfield. Jason Jordan comes up and makes the tackle, the senior captain for the Panthers. Funk now coming forward. He's met by a pair of Pitt defenders. He's going to be stopped short of the first down, so it'll be 4th and 1. Bortenschlager with Funk in the backfield, and Cedric Granger comes up and brings down 2 men for the price of 1. He says, you know what, if you're going to run an option, I don't care. I'll just tackle both of you. Cedric Granger playing in place of the injured Tyquan Sutton with a great stop. Jay Keys now in at quarterback, and he's going to hand off to KJ Welch on a jet sweep. Great blocking by the Panthers on the edge, and Welch is in the open field. 35, 20, 15, down to about the 12. A 45-yard carry for KJ Welch. Keys stays in at quarterback. CJ London comes in motion, but Keys will throw it this time. He dumps it off. It's Sam Smoot, and he's into the end zone. What a drive. What a touchdown by the Panthers. Jay Keys, his 2nd career touchdown pass. Maryland had no idea what hit them on this drive. 2 plays, and just like that, the Panthers are into the end zone. Keys at quarterback in the Wildcat type set throws an absolute wrinkle because he did play quarterback in high school. He has a very good arm. He was talked about going into last season as potentially the Panthers quarterback of the future. But then with his emergence as a receiver, he's since, basically become a full-time receiver, but he does still have that ability for the Panthers to throw him out there in those specialty sets and make an impact, and that's incredible to see from Jay Keys. What a drive. They run the handoff to KJ Welch on the jet sweep, gets a huge gain, and then a similar type play. They give a similar look with CJ London. He comes across the formation, but Keys keeps it. Instead of running it himself, he just dumps it off into the flat to Samuel Smoot, who marches into the end zone. And the Panthers now, leading by 17, might have put this game out of reach. But Maryland still with something to say here as Bortenschlager looks out wide, has a man. That's Jonathan Brown again, pushed out of bounds, but a good solid gain for Maryland nearing the Pitt red zone. 3rd and 10 now. Bortenschlager's just going to hand off to Funk up the middle. He takes a 3-yard carry there on a draw handoff, kind of maybe trying to catch the Panthers off guard. It'll be 4th and 7 now. Bortenschlager back to pass. The Panthers bring the pressure, but Bortenschlager finds DJ Turner, who fights off the tackle of Damian Vector and does do enough to get first down yardage, gain of 12. 2nd and goal now. Bortenschlager back to pass, looks to the corner, nearly intercepted. That's the 2nd interception that Kaiser Artis-Scott has dropped on the day that could have flipped the game in favor of the Panthers here. Bortenschlager now, he's going to make Pitt pay for it, potentially. No, stop short. Great tackle. That's Barry Jenkins, a touchdown-saving tackle on Jonathan Brown. So 4th and goal, Maryland with some motion. Instead, they fake the Panthers out. They motion some guys to the left. They run fullback Darrell Riley up the middle, and it's a touchdown for the Terrapins, cutting the Pitt lead back to 10 points. And around the country, we can see Duke has pulled an upset. It doesn't look like Maryland will be able to do it to Pitt, but Duke has done it to Florida State. Incredible game. Joe Sapp with a few touchdowns for the Blue Devils, and they take advantage of Malik Henry, the Florida State quarterback, going out early with an injury. He threw 2 touchdown passes on 5 of 6 passing and then left with an injury, and it allowed Duke to upset the Florida State Seminoles. The Panthers, though, moving the football well on the ground, trying to get their ground and pound game churning. That was Sibley for 10, then London for 10. Panthers 1st and 10 now as London's in the backfield. Pickett, though, back to pass. Looking deep, has Paul Lease open, and he just overthrew him. Lease didn't put his hands up. He might have been able to get fingertips to it and haul it in. That's the 2nd really deep pass that the Panthers nearly broke the game wide open with. You remember KJ Welch's drop at the end of the 2nd quarter. on the drive that ended with the interception. CJ London on 2nd and 7. Great carry there from the junior, pickup of 17. He's got lovely shake and bake moves. And the Panthers bring Keys back into the backfield. London's going to take it on the jet sweep and find some good blocking ahead. Smoot didn't get him the game-breaking block there. If he might have picked that last man up, London could have been off to the end zone, but it's still a 10-yard carry there. The jet sweeps with Jay Keys in the Wildcat package have worked out fantastically for Pitt so far today. They do pick up 6 on an Antonio Greer reception as Pickett dumped it off to him. It'll be 3rd and 4. Ogden in motion. Pickett instead just dumps it off wide on the wheel route to CJ London. He's brought down by a pair of Maryland defenders, but does pick up 6 and gets first down yardage. 2nd and goal. Kenny back to pass over the middle, looks for Welsh, and he can't hang on to that football through the contact. So it'll be 3rd and goal now for the Panthers with a minute 30 remaining in regulation, looking to make it a 3-score again. And Pickett finds KJ Welsh on the bubble screen. He looks like he might have fallen into the end zone, but I think they're marking him short at about the 3-inch line. So the Panthers say, you know what? We don't want to leave this a 2-score game. They hand it off, and CJ London, choo-choo-choo, King's Cross Station, London, we've arrived. Platform 9 3/4. Let's just make all the London jokes we can. Keep it going. Big Ben, we'll work them in a much greater fashion to a future broadcast. But CJ London's into the end zone. The Panthers make it a 3-score game again and look to come away with their 3rd victory of the season. Ohio State is able to come from behind against Northwestern, and with a 4th-quarter touchdown, they do win 21-17. So the Buckeyes will stay unbeaten and stay at number 1 in the country, at least until next week. Bortenshager, though, uncorks a throw deep, and that's the deep throw the Panthers have been looking for all day. DJ Turner hauls that in. He got behind the Pitt zone coverage. And the best way to beat a zone is just to outrun it. So Maryland making things a bit interesting. They're down 10 with a minute to play. They need the onside kick. And who, of course, is going to come up with it? Jay Keys, Mr. Hands himself, brings the football in. The Panthers take a knee, run out the clock, and come away with their 3rd victory of this young 2020 college football season. Damian Vector, your player of the game, with a couple of huge game-changing plays, forced that fumble when Maryland was looking to make it 21-0, had the interception as well. A big victory for the Panthers. They go to 3-0 on the season after beating Maryland 38-28 here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. As always, let me know what you thought in the comments. We'll see you very soon for the next episode here of the Pitt Panthers Football Dynasty. Hail to Pitt! Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.